we're starting out on an Apple kind of note. If you're an iPhone user, you've probably already taken the plunge and downloaded iOS 7. If you haven't, what are you waiting for? There's some great new features on iOS, and Seth has volunteered to be our guide.
iOS 7 is here and it's great, but some of you are complaining about a lack of surprises and innovation apart from the aesthetic remodeling when compared with iOS 6, the much maligned predecessor. And those of you who seem satisfied with the operating system itself are decrying a severe downturn in battery life. With all of that muddy water under the bridge, you might be justified in feeling that your excitement of the new has been somewhat dulled, tarnished. So in the spirit of extending what might have been something of a short honeymoon for you and your beloved mobile operating system, we've compiled this short iOS 7 cheat sheet. Let's rekindle that love, my sweets. Let's start with the Easter eggs, shall we? A wise man once said that variety is the spice of life. To extrapolate this lesson, it could be argued that the hidden features of an operating system are a nerd's true delight. Let's take the spirit level on iOS 7, for example. What? You didn't know there was a spirit level? To access said level, open up the Compass app, swipe your finger across the screen. You'll never have to watch your dad or any other hired workman hang a crooked painting on your wall ever again. Next up, closing apps. Sure, you already know that closing an app in iOS 7 is a fundamentally gratifying experience. Simply double tap and swipe it away. Simple, but you already knew that. Heck, you're probably lying on your back closing apps right now just for fun. But stick with me now, friend. Did you see that? Did you see me close multiple apps with a single swipe? You did, didn't you? Now clean yourself up quickly now. iOS 7's call blocking feature has been widely publicized, and rightly so. It's genius. Something that hasn't been as keenly pointed out, and which has particular application to SMS spam swamp South Africans, is that the same function applies to text messages. Don't reply no to opt out of a SMS mailing list that you never signed up for, my man. Under the iOS 7 regime, the App Store has a new Near Me feature, which shows apps that are popular in your current location, which, if anything, is a good way to get a handle on the demographics of iPhone users around you. Apparently, I'm surrounded by Afrikaans-speaking film enthusiasts with a poor sense of direction. All of which is useless to know unless your phone is actually on. Lucky for you, poor pre-planning Peter, you'll never be caught with your iPhone battery pants down again if you follow these steps. First, turn off parallax. Sure, a dynamic background looks pretty, but so are diamante-encrusted Hello Kitty cell phone covers. You aren't an 11-year-old girl anymore. To grow up, navigate to Settings, General, Accessibility, and hit Reduce Motion. Secondly, turn off AirDrop if you're not going to use it. AirDrop is fantastic and works beautifully when you're actually airdropping something, which is about once a month. The rest of the time, the function is drinking your battery milkshake. Swipe your control center into view and hit the toggle. Now friends, it's time for some real talk. Automatic app updates are cool, but not enough to warrant running out of juice. Go to Settings, iTunes and App Store and scroll down. You'll see Updates under Automatic Downloads. Turn it off and keep your phone on. Speaking of apps, you really don't need those puppies to be updating in real time in the background. Cruise through to Settings, General and disable Background App Refresh. All of that said, if you own a smartphone of any kind, you need to be following the holy law of ABC. Always be charging. Thus ends the sermon. Don't ever say we don't love you. Now get the heck out of here and fall back in love with your phone.